What is up? I have a raspy throat. What a way to start the stream. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Orbital Alliance live stream. It's June. It's our monthly live stream event here on the Orbital Alliance YouTube channel. And we are back for some exciting space discussion. We talk about all things space. We do deviate for the sake of fun, but we always try to hone it in and always be talking about something that has to do with space exploration, rockets, rocket science, planets, stars, space stations. I mean, all of the above. That's generally what we're going to be doing. And we've been switched over to a once a month pattern for our live stream that we do here on the channel. And it's been awesome. I've been a huge fan of it. We dialed it back from doing once every week, which was blisteringly fast to whip back around and do another stream for me. But I've been a big fan of this once a month thing. So today's June, and we also we do our streams on the last Wednesday of every month. So this is indeed the last Wednesday of June, and just for full clarity's sake, our July live stream event will be on July 27th. So mark your calendars, add it in Google or Apple calendars, whatever you use. Definitely don't miss it, because we like to have a lot of fun. And I always stand by it. Try to do something a little bit different each time. So be on the lookout next month, hopefully, for some more exciting interactions here on the stream. So with that, I hope you guys are all doing well. Those of you who are tuning in, I think we've got a few people in the lobby. If you are here, welcome, and I would love if you would say hey in the chat. I'm monitoring the chat the best I can, and I'm going to try and say hello back. And as we go throughout the night, of course, the tradition is that if you have any questions about space, no matter what it is, there's no such thing as a stupid question. There's feel free to ask it. Whatever it is, you may ask it. I will do my best to answer it. Always, because of the effort of, if you don't know, there's likely that someone else doesn't know the answer to that either and would love to learn the answer just like you. And it always goes for me too. I don't know everything, so I would like to learn too. If you ask a question that I don't know the answer to, I'll do my best to look it up if I can and find the best, most reliable and truthful answer I can to those space-related questions. So that's kind of how we roll on these live streams. It's just kind of a fun discussion, good time to hang out and be together on the interwebs. Mr. James, and I assume Sinedra and in tow, the dynamic duo. It is good to see you both. Thank you for tuning in. I think I heard a rumor that there were s'mores in your menu for the evening. Are s'mores a spacey snack? I wonder if they can be considered that, because generally you'd be eating s'mores around a campfire outside under the stars. So I think that counts. I think it counts. Has anybody tried making s'mores a little more crazy? Like, I think somebody at one point had put peanut butter in s'mores. Like, you just pick a scoop of peanut butter and put it in there with the chocolate and then the marshmallow. It's like, instead of a marshmallow, maybe that's what it was. I can't remember. But either way, there are some crazy varieties of s'mores in the world, I think. And maybe that might go a little bit better for people like me who are not huge fans of marshmallows. I'll eat them, but I'm not crazy about them. I don't go out of the way to put them in my mouth. But but yeah, I think s'mores can definitely be considered a spacey snack. So good on you guys. Are you actually eating s'mores? Oh, Reese's. That's what it is. Yeah, none of that Hershey nonsense. You don't mess around. Genius. That's great. Oh, here's a way you can make it extra spacey. Put a Milky Way in it. Or a Mars bar. That'd be one way to do it. We should do a space food discussion. Maybe we have talked a little bit about it in the past, but yeah. So it'll be cool. Not yet. Dinner first. Ah, okay. Good to know. What's for dinner? I'm just kidding. If you're trying to eat, I'm sitting here badgering you with questions. Don't stop eating and nourishing yourselves to answer my foolishness. So let's take a look here. Oh, so side note, this is actually a first. I have my dog under the desk with me tonight. Her name is Nova, and she space dog. She is very rarely with me on streams. She never is. I always actually have to lock her upstairs in our bedroom because she knows my online voice or like my recording voice. There must be something. I probably mentioned this before, but there's something a little bit in my timbre or my like delivery that is I don't know. I have a theory. She gets really worked up when I get into stream mode or recording. If I'm recording a video in my studio here, and I'm like, she just gets all worked up. She comes up, she gets really concerned, and she turns on that like dog sense. That's like, are you okay? And she gets all like, something's wrong, and she's like jumping on me and like wagging her tail, and she's like, oh. And she did it a little bit when I started doing my mic checks earlier, and I always say two words that SOUNDCHECK. I'm not gonna say it because it might trigger her here, but when I say those two words, I'll say it a couple times to check my mic, and she gets all worked up. She knows exactly what's gonna happen. But tonight there was a firework, and it scared her, and she comes running under my desk when there's a firework, and I put her bed under here, and she's just curled up and has no problem with me talking to the stream. So that makes me really happy. So I do have a partner here for the stream tonight. I would show you, but it's super dark under my desk. So yeah, it's like, I just thought you guys should know that Nova is actually present. They do packets and stuff in actual space. Yeah, really. Food. Some is like totally prepared, ready to go, meal in a bag, and you just like heat it up. Others are like totally froze, like freeze dried, and you have to rehydrate it. But yeah, food in bags, pretty much. Got to keep it contained. Yeah. Tony, one of my best friends, is tuning in tonight. Thanks for watching, man. With looks this good, I should have to pay to watch this stream. I don't think I have a tip button yet or a say thanks button yet because I'm not monetized. But the day I do, man, you know where to go. Oh my gosh. Also, a side note, I have water in this glass, and I have a giant BB-8. Oh, where's my camera? I'm used to my camera being over here, but since I got my new webcam, it's on the top of my monitor now. But I have a giant BB-8 ice cube. It's like a whiskey ice cube mold that is it's kind of melted now, but it's actually a BB-8, and you fill it with water, put it in your fridge, peel off the rubber, and it like becomes Star Wars BB-8 droid ice cube, which is really cool. But I put it in water tonight because gotta keep things clean for the stream. Yeah, so it's been a month. We did our stream last at the end of May, and I'm trying to think of what we talked about then, but if I remember, we went pretty long. So there's been a lot of space news, a lot of things happening in the space world, and I'm gonna try my best to bring some of that up here and share that with you guys. That's dope. It is cool. It is a very cool thing. I believe my friend Ryan got it for me. I think it was Ryan and Chelsea. I think they it was like a Christmas gift or something 2 or 3 years ago. We talked about space. That's indeed. This is also true. Gosh. Okay. Well, I mean, maybe I'll just start with this a little bit more like a personal side of things. So all winter, and I talked about this on streams for sure. Basically, all winter and most of spring here in Chicagoland, it was like cloudy by 95% of the week. It was awful for stargazing or astrophotography, space viewing. just miserable. If you had a day that was clear, even for a little bit, like nothing was happening. It was like the dullest, list of events for those particular nights. And anytime there was something interesting, like a space station pass, a Starlink launch or a moon event or something, it was like, good luck, not happening. But let me tell you, the last month, and even a little bit of May too, was like, it's been phenomenal. It has been so clear, for the most part. Like, we had our days, but it's just been, the weather's been great. I've had some great opportunities, and it's been super, super cool. So reminds me, I should show you some of the pictures I took, because I went on a trip and I did some photography. And I did post these to the social. You guys can find me on Twitter at Nick Penev, NickPenev. And then on Instagram, it's at Nick_Penev. That's me. Or then the Orbital Alliance has some stuff on there, but I actually don't post enough to on Instagram for my Orbital Alliance page. I've been really bad about that. I tweet some more. So it's at Orbit Alliance YT, like YouTube. So at Orbit Alliance YouTube. But you can find some of my stuff personally where I post to Instagram and Twitter. But let me pull up some of those pictures that I took so I can show you. I'll share my screen. So I did get to go up to Door County, Wisconsin, and I spent 3 days there with family. And my father-in-law also does astrophotography, and he came out with me, and we went adventuring, and we had some cloudy, semi-cloudy, semi-clear nights, and we got some captures. So allow me to pull these up really quick. Oh yeah, so let's do this one first. So first, I did capture the International Space Station. Let me see if I got my screen shared enough over here. All right, here we go. There we go. You guys see that? I took this picture of the International Space Station in Door County. It's just a blank star field. There's a few little trees in the bottom here. It was actually an amazingly bright sighting, and it was spectacularly clear while we were up there. The sun had just set. It's maybe like an hour after sunset. I knew it was coming. I went and set up, and so Door County is a peninsula, and it kind of like angles out towards the northeast, and we were almost at the top, and it takes like almost an hour to drive from one end to the other. So it's a huge peninsula, and looking to the west where the sun was setting, the space station came that way, and then it kind of went at a little bit of an angle over to the north ahead of us, and to the south. And we saw it coming, and right as it did, a giant meteor went flying past it. Like a huge meteor. It was like, we all saw it with our eyes, and I was like, are you kidding me? I wasn't taking a photo at that time. I was so disappointed. I had been ready to take a shot, which, these shots are like 20 seconds long, and I was not doing my duty, and I just was waiting for the station to get to the right position, and then the meteor happened. So I missed that, which was a huge bummer. But I did a couple exposures, and this one was the last exposure I took. And like, what happens with this is you set your camera up on a tripod. I have a remote that wirelessly opens the shutter on the camera, and that lets all the light just soak into the camera without interruption. It means the stars get to really grow in brightness. They just get brighter and brighter and brighter in the frame, and anything else that's there that's moving becomes a blur. And in this case, the space station, which is a little dot, a bright dot, is moving across the sky. When you leave your shutter open in the camera, it creates a smear. And that's what you see here, is this really bright smear. This is the International Space Station. But what's cool about this is that in this shot, the last 20 seconds of this shot, the space station is actually entering the Earth's shadow. It's going behind the Earth, because the space station is, of course, reflecting sunlight back at us. It's at an angle. So it's like the sun to the space station to us. It's like a triangle. But when that triangle becomes a line, the angles change. There's no light to reflect back at us. So the space station goes dark. And the space station doesn't really it's not emitting its own light. Everything is reflected. at least everything that you can see yourself. So when it's in the Earth's shadow, you won't see it. It's physically impossible to see. And this is the streak as a diminishing light. So you can see it turns from like a bluish reflection all the way to like an orange, where you start seeing more of the natural color of the solar panels, which are like an orangey hue. When it's blue like this, blue and white, it's overexposed, really. It's so bright that it's creating an overexposure. So it's just, camera's like white. That's the best I can do. Too much light for this mode, and it's just white. But as it levels out, the actual true color starts to come into, like, not focus, but exposure. And that's the orange, and then it fades out into the distance, and you just see nothing. So I'll zoom in here. Like, look at this gradual fade going up here. Pretty cool. I was really happy with this shot. It was a winner. It was the first night we were there, and then later that night we went out to go do Milky Way photography, because that's why we went up there. It's so dark up there that you can actually see the Milky Way very clearly with your naked eye, and you certainly can get amazing photography done up there as well, which was the goal. But one other thing before we get to that point, I wanted to point out, and this, I don't know what kind of devices you guys are watching on out there, but there's plenty more to see in this shot. And I'm not talking about the space station or stars. There are actually a ton of satellites in this picture. Other satellites. And I don't know if you're on a small phone or if you're on your living room TV or what, but I'm going to try and zoom in. So of course we got this space station. You guys see that? But look up here to the left. There's another line going kind of diagonal from like 11 to 4 o'clock or something like that, or like 10 to 3. That is a satellite at a different orbit, at a different height, altitude, creating much less light, probably much smaller and much further away. That's creating another streak. Just to the left here, even tinier line there, smaller satellite, probably much further out because it's a smaller line. And again, look at the stars. Even the stars streak over 20 seconds because the Earth is spinning as I take this shot. So stars start to create star trails in my photo, and they all go the same direction. And now let's look around a little bit more, because I know there are several more in this photo. Up here in the corner, there's a third satellite here going a different direction, an even smaller line. And I'm going to scan over here, and sometimes you have to look really closely to see them, but they are there. Here. This one is almost near impossible to see. You see that line going from like 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock. It's a similar length to the space station, maybe a little bit shorter, but it's there. So there's 4. Going down here to a little bit to the bottom right, there's another one, very faint. James, how does the Earth spin if it's flat? Hey, dude, look at my phone. It's spinning. It's flat, but it's spinning, right? Disproved your theory. Flat Earth exists, right? All right, zooming in. Down here in the corner, here's another one. Another satellite, a real small, distant one. It's spinning like a plate on a stick. Yeah, right? It's a little like... And then just to the left, look at this. Look at this. Just to the left here. Let me see if I can get my... Oh, yeah, there we go. Right here, I can do my little cursor trick here. There's a very faint one. So what is that? 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 satellites. And then... So we got that too. And here's another big one. This is another really bright one. There's 8. Another big streak. I'll look over on this side of the picture. I don't think I see any others. I think that was all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, if there are more, I can find them another time. But look at that. Isn't that insane? Just this one shot. I was trying to take a picture of the space station, but there are so many satellites orbiting the Earth right now that I captured 8 other satellites in this image. Pretty crazy. So 9 objects of human manufacturer speeding around in space just in this picture. I'm I'm going to show you guys something else I did. So that first night, let's see, that's one. So that first night we were there, I set up for Milky Way shots, and there were two things that happened. One, clouds started coming in at about 1 a.m. And to be clear, the Milky Way becomes visible in summertime in the northern hemisphere, probably around 10:30, 11 p.m. But the best viewing is about like 1 to 2, because the Milky Way kind of like, it's an arm and it shows up in the sky. Sorry if I block my mic here. I'll do this one. And it kind of rises like this. And at about 10 o'clock, it's here, maybe 11 o'clock, midnight, 1, 2, 3, and it eventually goes almost vertical, and then the sun starts rising. So you kind of wanted to get as high as possible, because the higher it is, the less air you're looking through, and the more detail you're going to see. That's kind of the short answer. And at about 1 a.m., clouds started rolling in for us, so we stopped photography. But I tried a time lapse for the very first time. I wanted to do hours of a time-lapse video, which means you have to take pictures. So you set your camera with your remote to take a picture every 20 seconds, every 15 seconds, every 30 seconds. So it's like you set it, you hit fire, it starts taking a picture, it goes for 30 seconds, it stops, and then you can tell it how long you want it to wait before it takes another picture. And then it goes photo, 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 photo for hundreds of them, and then you tell it when you want it to stop. So after 100 photos, after 500 photos, continue until the batteries like die out on the camera or the remote, one of the two. Excuse me. Like, there's all kinds of ways you can go about it. But I got maybe an hour and a half of imagery, and I would love to show you guys that video. What time of year is the best to see the Milky Way? Tony asks. Does it change? Yeah. I mean, it's summer is the best time for sure. And that's because the Earth is angled. It's technically the Earth is on a 23 degree tilt or 26 degree tilt or something like that. I'm starting to remember I think it's 23.5 degrees. And, we face different directions in space throughout the year. We face different places. And in summer, we're leaning towards the Milky Way center. And that would be the best time because you get to actually see it. It's visible at that point. So summer. So I would say the end of May, maybe at the earliest, and go into like August, September are your best months in the northern hemisphere. The more south you go, that kind of stops mattering, I guess, but it's still there. Location matters and time of year matters for sure, and of course weather. So it does change with all those factors. Hope that answers the question. So take a look at this video. I'm gonna set it to kind of loop all. There we go. So this is the time lapse I took. So there's the Milky Way, and a couple things. So I framed it to have these tree silhouettes kind of in there. We're on this like apple orchard, and there were some pine trees and I don't know what, some like oaks or maples like chilling on the side here. So the Milky Way is rising. So I think I started at around 10:30 or 11 p.m. and then it's like going up, and about 1 p.m. you can start seeing clouds to slipping into the frame. But so that stopped. I was like, what's the point? I can't see the Milky Way anymore. It's going to become completely cloudy. The other thing that happened, and you can just see it at the end, I technically didn't include all the pictures I took. Do you notice that it starts getting a little bit foggy? The lens, like I'm going to pause it right at the end. Right about here. Oh, nuts. I missed it. It didn't. Things started getting a little bit soft, like not as sharp, because my lens started fogging over. The temperature dropped below the dew point, and thus the glass started condensating, creating fog on the lens. And if I showed you the other photos I had, it would just be completely fogged over. You couldn't see anything. And that's a huge thing for late night photography outdoors, is the dew point. And if you have to be paying attention to weather and your meteorology. So there's a point, depending on moisture levels in the air, that if the temperature drops below that dew point temperature, so say that in this case, I believe the dew point was 47 degrees Fahrenheit. And the real temperature when we started photography was about 51 degrees. And then as the night went on, we were outside taking photos. It dropped 1 degree, 1 degree, 1 degree, and then it ended up being like 46 or 45 degrees by the end of the night. And that condensation started happening. So dew in the grass, dew on the trees, dew on your lens, which was really annoying. So I was bummed, but I knew we had one more night to try some photography. So I was really happy with this. I got a time lapse, and you can see several satellites in this shot. You'll see like these little like streaks and blurs. The same thing as we looked in that other photo is happening here, but I got multiple exposures, so you can kind of see over time them moving across the sky. They're whipping and whirring and whizzing by. Something of note too is you can see some dots kind of just staying in one place, and the stars are kind of moving around them. Those are geosynchronous satellites. And I know it's kind of a big word, but geosynchronous, here's one right here, where my cursor is. Some satellites orbit far enough out away from Earth that they're at the perfect distance where they're orbiting at the same rate or speed as the Earth is spinning. So instead of like going faster than our Earth is spinning or slower, like Earth is spinning faster than it going around, it's perfectly in line. And it appears to us that those satellites are staying put, but they're really just spinning with us in perfect speed. So there's a couple of those you can see in imagery like time lapses that those reveal those geosynchronous satellites. So pretty cool. So geocentric, meaning geo being the base word being Earth, or geo centric, of course, meaning focused and centered. Heliocentric means sun, like Helios. I think it's Greek. Is that Greek? Latin? Greek? That's the antithesis really is like, is it geocentric or heliocentric? Is it around the Earth or around the sun? So pretty cool. Now I'm going to show you night number 2. We set up at a church parking lot that we found. It had a ton of lights, and we thought we'd get a really cool Milky Way shot with this like beautiful white church steeple that we found. But it just did not work out. There was a tree. The lights on the church were too bright. The Milky Way was not high enough, and clouds starting rolling in. But I set up for a time lapse in the parking lot, and this is what I got. Sorry. Hold on. Let me loop it and replay. There we go. This one was, I think, the better time lapse. This was started around midnight and went to about 1 a.m. And because the clouds, again, were getting thicker and thicker, I can see a geosynchronous satellite, probably the same one, actually. It's in the same position right up here. And you see satellites galore whipping and whirring by. And there's an airplane that comes right over here, just in this direction. If you can see my cursor here, this little circle, there's an airplane that whizzes by. But all these clouds came in waves. It was like we were paying attention to it. We first went out that night, and it was completely overcast. And we thought, man, what a waste of a night. Let's not even bother going out. So we just decided to stay in the house that we were in and just hang out and talk. But then father-in-law went outside, and he's like, it's clear out, ? So we decided to go outside, and I was like, hey, let's just drive around, and if it stays clear, we'll get some photos. If it gets cloudy and ruins everything, then we'll just come back. No big deal, but let's not waste the night. We're out here. We drove all this way. We drove 4.5 hours. Let's make it count. So we drove around. It stayed cloudy. And right as we were about to pack it up, cleared up. So we posted up in this church and got this stuff. So it was not a loss. And I thought having the clouds in the foreground was actually a much cooler shot. I thought it was, it made it much more interesting. There's something to parallax against the Milky Way as it's rising. And again, this is about 1 hour of photos. So super cool. I was very happy with how it went. And, I now have a little bit of an archive catalog of Milky Way time lapse. So hope you guys enjoy that. Here's my mug. Not as cool as the Milky Way. Space and weather education. Dropping knowledge bombs. The clouds make the shot. I agree. Thanks, man. Yeah, it's kind of mesmerizing to look at. mesmerizing. I couldn't get the word out. And I think the key to Milky Way photography is what's in your foreground. Getting a shot of the Milky Way is fine. It's amazing, a wonder, unparalleled. But what can you add to it? And even though I couldn't add a building or an object, nature provided the clouds. So you use what you can. And this was the next best thing, and it definitely worked out. Had we stayed there another hour, it would have been completely overcast. So pretty cool. Yeah. So who's out there in the stream? Say hey in the chat. Welcome to the Orbital Alliance, and I would love to say hi to you guys and answer any questions about space that you may have, if you have them. No question is a wrong question. What made me laugh earlier when I was saying that was when I was in high school, I had an English teacher. He was I think he was my favorite teacher in all of high school. One of the most I don't know, just down to earth guys. And I don't want to say he didn't care. It's that he cared so much that he realized he didn't have to do everything that is kind of like told a teacher has to do. He did it in his own way. And one of the things whenever anybody said, "Hey, they'd raise their hand in class and they say, "Hey, I have a stupid question." Without hesitation, he would say, "Remember what I say. There's no such thing as stupid questions, just stupid people." And I think it's a really horribly rude thing to say, but it got people to stop saying, "Hey, I have a stupid question," because I guess in a way he's right. Like, if you're not stupid if you're asking a question, like you want to learn, that does not make you stupid at all. So the question, whether it's a weak question or a strong question, has nothing to do with your intelligence. But I think simply asking the question proves intelligence. One might become stupid if you don't ask any questions, I suppose. But this is more of a philosophy lesson here, I guess. But I'll never forget him saying that. Steve Ewick. That's awesome. I don't remember that. What I do remember is what Randy Wright would say in the bathroom. That was that may be the one quotable that really sticks with me. Oh my gosh, Steve Ewick. What do you think he's up to these days? Do you know? Where did he go off to? Did he retire? Maybe he retired. I don't recall. I remember he drove a Volvo. But anyway, coworker stories there. Yeah, so it's 8:40. If you are tuning into the stream, I think we've got I see 5 viewers in the lobby, at least. And if you're tuning in, thank you for spending time with us here tonight. It's a Wednesday night. We stream on the last Wednesday of every month, and that's today's the June stream day. So of course we just talk about space, answer space questions, talk about photos and space news, and try to do some other fun things. So with that, maybe we'll cover a few news points, but I did have an idea like maybe 20 minutes before I started the stream, and I'm gonna see if I can pull it off here. Are you serious? He just applied or interviewed at your company? Oh my gosh. And this company that you're at now is smaller, right? So like that would have been if I remember correctly, that'd be a much more intimate workplace, and you'd be reliving your Rita days. So I had thought about making like a little bit of like a fun contesty quiz space trivia section of tonight's stream, and I kind of thought about this as I was getting ready tonight. And I wonder if I can make a Google form and post it to everybody. Let me see. How do I make... I think I've made a Google form before. Google Forms. Okay. Oh my gosh. Here, it saved my last form that I made. And sorry, my exposure just went haywire because I've got a white window on my screen. The one and only form I made was April 28th, 2016 for work. 6 years ago. That's really funny and also terrifying. because I do not want to relive that time. Great. So if I make a form where I have a bunch of like trivia questions and we ask them, and you guys put you think the answer is, it can be anything. You can take wild guesses. The person who gets the most right, I will give you guys, I'll give the winner a Google folder with, let's say, 5 free photos that are like wallpaper quality of some of my astro photos. So it'll be a little bit of like a digital giveaway. So let me see if I can make this happen here while I'm hanging out with you guys. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try and make a form, and I'll put it in the chat, and you guys can open it up on your phone or on your computer or whatever. If you don't have a way to watch it, then maybe pull up the stream on your phone and then click in the chat. So this might take. Oh, Sinedra, there you are in the chat. Nice, sign you up. Good deal. Well, I know for sure there are at least 3 people here. So if you are watching and you're new to the stream, don't be afraid to say hey. Would love to shout out to you. So let's see. All right, so we're gonna do Orbital Alliance. Let's do like a trivia contest. It's gonna have a bunch of exclamation points because that's how I roll. Hey, period. Kayla in the house. Do you want to do a contest quiz, Kayla? Okay, so I've got the first question here, and this is going to be a short answer. Okay, great. Required. And duplicate. Great. Oh, this is going to be so easy to make. Okay. How many questions should I make it? I thought 10, but I wonder if that might be too fast to go through. Okay, sweet. Emily's in the chat too. Oh, Emily making an appearance. Yes. Did I miss Emily? Did she say something? No. Okay. Maybe she's just hanging in there. How many questions should we put in this quiz? Oh, she doesn't have an account, so she can't comment. Got it. Cool. By the way, Tony, I texted you back some dates. Let me know if those work for you to come meet your daughter. It has been like the craziest 6 weeks since she's been born, man. I mean, we had COVID when she was born. Then we were traveling a little bit. And then all 3 of us got sick again in the last 2 weeks, like when we were traveling 2 weeks ago. And we all just blew through another round of a cold. It wasn't COVID, but it was just a cold. And I was like, man, our immune systems are completely shot. Absolutely shot. So yeah, I think we're all in the clear. We've been healthy for a while now, and yeah, we're ready to meet Kat because I've had enough of being sick and not being able to see her. Great. Clearly 42. Yeah, because I know the reference. I believe it or not, I have not actually seen. It's Hitchhiker's Guide, right? Is that right? I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. I have been known to be wrong. We talked about it. Both dates work. Aces. Sweet deal. I'll get back to you once I'm off the stream. Unless, Kayla, you want to just pick a date and put it in the chat. We're making plans over the live stream chat. Great. So I have one question in here. These are all going to be short answers. So you're going to type in an answer. Because if it's multiple choice, I don't know. Maybe does it matter? Do you guys want multiple choice too? Because I want this to be like full-blown cold, like cold answers. You do not have to know the answers. Just like take a guess and see how close you can get. That's maybe the goal here. Hitchhiker's Guide. Yeah. Okay, great. You call yourself a nerd. Unbelievable. I know. Can't win them all, I guess. So yeah, what do you guys think? Short answers, like a number or a quick sentence or a word or something like that, or do you want multiple choice? Okay, question 3. We're making question 3. BB-8 is melting. Take a look at that. You guys see BB-8? He's just a ball. He's just a ball now. That's like the Arlenauts. They've taken all the prizes out of Cracker Jacks. It's just popcorn now. Oh, did you see that drop? I got a condensation drop on my keyboard here. Oops. Multiple choice. Okay. Multiple choice. All of them? Okay, let's see here. BB-8, no. Yeah. Question, what color is the space? Okay. I'll do 3 answers. How about that? How's that sound? That doesn't make it too hard, does it? And I'm not trying to... all the answers will be pretty close. They're going to be really close to what the truth is. So they're not going to be that far off. Which might make it tricky. There's not going to be like... It's not like, how tall is Nick? 6'1", 6 feet, or 3'11". Like, obviously, I'm not 3'11". I'm not gonna have an answer like that where it's like so far off from the real thing. 3 is a magic number. That is true. Is anybody into like magic stuff, like magic tricks, or like David Blaine or magicians? We were recently at a wedding. Was it last year maybe that had a magician walking around the reception, which was a genius idea. And we're going to another wedding that's going to have one soon. It was a lot of fun. They come around and do card tricks for you, and you can have like a little group of your friends, and it's like your own private magic show with people who actually know how to do magic illusions and stuff. Super cool. In the meantime, what are some spacey things we can talk about while I'm creating this form, because it's hard to like think and type at the same time. Let's see here. Add an option. So let's talk about what's happening today. There's down in Kennedy Space Center in Florida, which is on the east coast of Florida. There were 3 rockets standing vertical on launch stands today, which was kind of unprecedented. A Falcon 9 from SpaceX, which was delivering a commercial satellite. There is, gosh, I don't remember the third one. Is it a Vulcan? John Krause posted about it. Oh, hey, there's John. Here, I'll show you guys this picture real quick. Let me share this with you. This is John Krause on Twitter. 3 rockets. Yeah, it's United Launch Alliance Atlas 5 rocket, heavy lift rocket. And so on the right, you have SpaceX Falcon 9, which launched this afternoon. Atlas 5 in the middle. And then on the left, you've got NASA's new rocket with Orion. This is the SLS, the Space Launch System. They just did their first wet dress rehearsal, meaning they put in all of the propellants as if they were going to pretend to launch the rocket. Then they drain it, and they just leave it empty, sitting on the launch stand. It's supposed to have its first actual launch. They're aiming for August, but I'm going to guess it's going to be later, September or October. We'll see. But this is a huge. This is the Artemis 1 mission. which is the successor to the Apollo missions from the 60s and 70s. We're going to the moon with these rockets. We're putting people on them and sending them to the moon in the next couple of years. But this first launch is not taking people. It's just a launch of the craft to go around the moon and back to prove that the launch system works without risking people's lives. Artemis 2 has a test crew. They'll send them around the moon, and Artemis 3 is going to send people to the surface of the moon. Unless that changes, that's the current standing. But John Krause is a rocket photographer in Florida. He took these beautiful pictures. All credit goes to him. And you can see his Twitter at John Krause Photos. So support him. He sells prints. He does awesome stuff. So back to the camera here. So that's been huge news. Those rockets being there. I mean, SLS being almost ready to launch it's been delayed by like 5 or 6 years. It's unbelievable. So we're overdue for that to launch, and I am overexposed a little bit because this form is causing me problems. Isn't there a new company that's going to use a balloon to bring tourists to space? Yes, there is. Absolutely right. I was just telling Kayla about this. Chris Hadfield posted about it. Okay. Chris Hadfield posted. Where is the picture? Chris Hadfield was I guess made a cameo in, he's an astronaut, a cameo in the new Beavis and Butthead movie, Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe on Paramount Plus. He makes a little cameo. Here, I'm going to show you guys the picture. Here, look at this. Do you see this? I guess they go to space. It looks like they're in a space shuttle. And then on the right over here, you got Chris Hadfield with the mustache. I really need to watch it just for that. So pretty funny. But Chris Hadfield did post about a company. Let me see if I can find it. It's like a married couple in Canada. Here it is. Bright young couple with 30 employees building rockets to launch in an innovative way from Canada. We've talked about this in the stream before. The place that you want to launch on Earth is as close to the equator as possible. And the further north or south you go, the less speed you can give a rocket to gain. Because the way anything stays in orbit around Earth is maintaining speed or increasing speed. The slower you go, the more you fall down back to Earth. That's a problem. So if you launch from too far north, from like Canada, you're not going to have enough speed. You're not going to be able to accelerate quickly enough. Maybe to some point you could. I don't really know the full math behind it, but it's just not as ideal. It's probably possible, but they came up with an innovative way to solve that problem by using a balloon. So they'll like lift the rocket. Here's a pencil. Let's pretend this is a rocket, which would normally launch from a stand like, this and just take off, which, eventually rockets, here, let me move my mic. Can you guys still hear me? So rockets they launch, but they actually like start going like this in a curve, and then they go around, around the Earth. That's actually, they don't just go up. So if you strapped a rocket to a balloon, it would just take off, and then you could just let it go at a high altitude with minimal air resistance at a higher altitude, and then just launch it away, and it could take off that way. Other ways that people have launched rockets are like Virgin Galactic. They have a plane. Imagine the hand is an airplane, and they mount the rocket underneath. Virgin Orbit does this. Actually, Virgin Galactic does it in a different way, but like they fly the plane up to super high altitude. Imagine it's like kind of coming up here, and it's like super high. They drop the rocket, and it takes off midair. It just falls and then boosts off. It's really cool. But having a balloon do it is a new way, and this company, this startup, is going to do that. So I was pretty interested in reading that article. Pretty neat. It is actually very crazy. You're right, James. The space industry is booming. We're on the tip of the iceberg for companies that are changing the way we do things, and I think at some point, sticking a rocket full of fossil fuels and not fossil fuels, but like gases, flammable gases and stuff, it's going to change. I don't think we'll use it the same way in 100 years. Hopefully. I don't think we want to be sticking people on bombs, like controlled bombs, and hoping it works, Too much can go wrong. So maybe if you can get people to safely transport them with balloons and I think they're going to just use satellites, but I mean, no, maybe they are doing people. I think tourists. They said tourists. Yeah, you're right. You feel like so much could go wrong in the balloon scenario. Yeah, I guess in any scenario, things can go horribly wrong if it involves rockets and space travel. There may never be a true safe way to do it. Space elevator. There we go. But that'll probably have its own risks. All right, back to the form. Okay. Let's do 10 questions, because by the time I get this done, it's going to be midnight. Let's see. It is... Okay. Have you guys ever seen a comet? Like a real comet? The older folks in the room may have had the chance to see Comet Hale-Bopp in 1997. James, you were not alive. Sinager, you were not alive, right? You guys are younger than 1997. There's been a couple smaller comets since then, but they're sights to see, let me tell you. Let's see here. You feel attacked. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying. I don't think you didn't have a choice to see that one or not. But there was one 2 years ago that was visible, but you had to get up at like 3 a.m. to see it. And it was just barely visible. But there's hopefully going to be some. I think I read an article that there might be a big one coming by in 2031, but that doesn't mean anything because comets are just ice balls, like giant snowballs, and they only glow and create a tail if they're in the right place, heading towards the sun in the right way, because the sun's heat and radiation is melting and sending off like a vapor trail behind it. And that has to be like ideal conditions. So if this one in 2031 is as amazing as they're saying it's going to be, then yeah, maybe we'll get a chance. Maybe you guys will get a chance too. Okay, Boomer. Yeah. Now I feel attacked. But I suppose we can call it even, right? What space things have you guys seen? Sound off in the chat. Let me know. What have you seen? Like eclipses? Have you seen the Milky Way? Have you seen a meteor before? Have you seen satellites? What are some of the fun things you guys have seen? While I make this, I'll do this. I'm making a question that you guys are maybe not going to be so much of a fan of because it's not a trick question because there is a right answer, but how current in this are you? That's going to be the real question. Okay, so I made three questions so far. Let's see. Here's a good one. I got another one here. That's a good question. I like that question. That's question 4. Sinager and I went up to the dark zones in Michigan UP to see the Milky Way. There you go. Yes. Which is basically, that's even further north than Door County. And there's very few towns up there. And you're surrounded by water. So any cities that are there are not that big. Marquette, Escanaba, Traverse City. I'm not too familiar with like the eastern portion of it, but maybe some in Canada. Where's Toronto? Toronto's further south. Yeah, you're far away from that. Green Bay, maybe. The Headlands in Michigan. We went to it with a group of friends on a camping trip. Okay. Sweet. I'm jealous. Kayla wants to go to Michigan so badly. She loves it there. All right, question 5. Let's see. This is a good one. I don't think you guys will know the answer to this. Again, I'm trying not to be... They all could be possible answers. Nothing's going to be crazy. And the other thing, too, is I'm going to trust you guys to not Google answers. Just take guesses. They can be wrong. It doesn't matter. The stakes are very low, so don't feel pressured here. Okay, question 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's get to 10. Kayla, what has she seen with space stuff? Star Party 2009. Yeah, there you go. I'm pretty sure that was the... is that the accurate... It should be the accurate date. When Kayla and I were not dating, but friends in college, I hosted a star party in my hometown. And I invited as many friends as I could, went over to my elementary school and set up my telescope, and we just started looking at stuff, and it was awesome. We had a really great time. And one of my friends was encouraging me to date Kayla that night after she left. He was like, dude, you gotta get together with her. So he called it. And yes, please, Michigan. Yeah. Might have to wait a couple months after Florida, though. Feels a little bit more pressing. Let's see. Okay, let's do another spacey question. Here's a good one. Wow, no invite. Yeah. Hey, anybody who's in the chat tonight gets a free invite. Well, I'll just pile in a van together, or I'll rent a U-Haul and we can all just jump in the back. That's how that works, right? Let's see. What should I call this? There we go. There's another one done. James is so down. You know where we should go if we're gonna so we should we go up through the UP or should we go around the Mitten? What's the preference there? I love South Haven, so if we went through the Mitten, I'd want to stop in South Haven. But if we went over the top, gotta hit up Marquette. We go to that German restaurant that we went to for the 50K Ultra, where I got Steinhaus. That's it. We have to do Steinhaus in Marquette. Star Party 2022. That's like a movie that I should make. Star Party 2022. Travel the galaxy in Michigan. What's the Michigan ad campaign that they do, like Live Michigan, or isn't there like a little catchphrase? Do the whole loop. Okay, yeah. So I just applied for my passport for the first time in my life. So in about 2 months, I should have my passport in the mail. So maybe we could pit stop in Canada just to say that I've been out of the country. I've never been out of the U.S. So maybe we could we'll go up and around over the UP. We'll go up to Green Bay, to Escanaba, to Marquette. Then we'll go to Traverse City. Maybe we can go to what is it? The border, like right over there by Detroit. Cross over and come back. Try not to die in Detroit, and then go to South Haven, and then come back. See, we've got a plan. Pure Michigan. There it is. See, you guys knew your Michigan stuff. Schooling me on Michigan. Let's see. Ooh, I have a good question here. And one more here. Good stuff. Buzz Lightyear taught us well. Are you talking about Tim Allen? Because Home Improvement took place in Michigan? Or what am I... Did he mention pure... What? Well, we just saw Lightyear last night. Did anyone else see the movie Lightyear yet? I bought you 5 minutes. Okay, yeah. Oh, he does the Michigan ads. Oh, we just talked about this. You're right. I'm sorry. Brain is not... All right. Where are we at? 7? This is 8. Question 8. 3 more. 3 more questions. What did you guys think of Lightyear? I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun, and I enjoy having lore and canon, and it's fun trying to figure out how they piece it into the Toy Story universe. And they did answer that very quickly, but I was like still thinking about it. I thought Chris Evans did a great job. He had moments where he really sounded like Tim Allen. You know, there were moments where he sounded like Captain America. He had moments where he just, I feel like, made a new version of the character. No spoilers, by the way. But, yeah, I think it was a really, really fun movie. Was it perfect? No. Was it groundbreaking? No. But it doesn't have to be. It was just a good watch. Totally did Buzz justice. Good. Yeah, I would agree. Let's see here. I have an idea for the 10th question, but I need 2 more. Let's see. And I can't ask you guys for ideas because then you guys would just know the answer. Yeah, let me just do a quick shout out here. If you guys are, if there's anyone tuning into the chat that's brand new to the channel, welcome to the Orbital Alliance. My name is Nick, and we are talking about space stuff. And I'm currently working on something as we sit here and just chat about space. I'm creating a little quiz, and we're doing a contest here in just a few minutes, and then we'll call an end to the stream here. But I'm making a 10-question Google form. I'm going to post it in the chat, and you guys can fill it out and answer these 10 questions. They're multiple choice, the best that you can. And if the person who gets the most right, I'm going to send a Google Drive folder with 5. I'll do 5. I'll do 5 astrophotography pictures that I've taken that you can use as wallpapers for your phone or your computer or whatever. I'll all I would ask is that you don't sell them. I'm gonna take this is like a trust game here. But yeah, I think it would be super fun. Let's see. Anybody watch any other space movies? Did anyone see that Moonfall movie that came out this year? I have yet to see it. I know Ryan has it on his Plex, and I need to watch it. Kind of like a space sci-fi tragedy. Like, doesn't the moon like crash into the Earth or something, or blow up? I can't remember. But I know that's a new one I have not seen, and I have it on my list for sure. Okay, think about two. I got 3 more questions here. Let's do. Oh, here's a good one. All right, there we go. Question 9. Interstellar is my favorite space movie for obvious reasons. It's Anne Hathaway, right? That's why it's your favorite, because she's your favorite actress. Which reminds me, I'm due for an Interstellar watch. Thank you for reminding me. BB-8 continues to shrink. He is now BB Ice, floating around. Okay, question 9. Question 9. Oh, here's a good one. Even I need to look up the answer to this one, because I don't know the current answer. Okay. No. Nice. I think that number is different from last time I heard. Okay. And question 10. I think this is it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here we go. And then I'm going to... The last one's going to be a wild guess. And you guys are going to have to... Yes. This is going to be a good one. It's now Baby 8. That's a good one. I like that. It's definitely because she ends up alone forever. And the implied demise that follows, probably. Let me verify one thing, and I will enter the final thing here. All right. Man, been a hot minute. But great. Okay, I have an accurate answer. All right. Let me just run through it all really quick. guys hanging in there with me? Sorry, it's been a little bit quiet. I'm just about done with this quiz. And again, if anybody just happened to be tuning in here to the stream, doing a little on-the-spot contest here for some photos that I've taken, digital copies of some fun space photos, and I will send them to you. Ooh, I just made an answer even better. It's awesome. You guys are never going to know the difference. Okay. All right. Send via. This is a link. Link. Copy. Shorten URL. Copy. All right, guys. Coming in the chat. Here we go. Quiz. I hope I can figure out how to interpret the data here. We're about to learn. So here you go. It's in the chat. Dropping it in there. It's there. Fill out that Google form, and I will tally the results and see who gets the prize. I will give you guys maybe 5 minutes to do that. Is that long enough? Do you want more time? 10 minutes? Let's say 9:30. 9:30. So that's 11 minutes from now. It's a lot of time to answer 10 quick questions that all have multiple choice. So let's see. So I think there's possibly 5 people watching. So I expect to see about 5 forms. Tony and Emily, you get a pass because you have a little one who might be wreaking havoc at any moment, and I totally understand that. So, so grace there. Cool. Well, in the meantime, let's talk about other stuff that's happened in space. Let's just go there. So 10 minutes to fill out that form. So let me find some new things. So regardless of all the things that have been happening with Ukraine, you know, and in Russia and all that, you know, Russian cosmonauts are still on the space station and everything's been fine up there. It's not been a problem. The space programs have been pretty civil. You know, there's actually going to be American astronauts actually training still with the Russians in Russia and going on a Soyuz launch because those were planned well ahead. So, yeah, who is it? Is it Tracy? Is it Tracy Caldwell Dyson? Is that her name? She's going to be going to space on a Russian Soyuz. Gosh, when is this going to happen? Soon? I don't see a date here, but I had to look up her name. What is it? Tracy. I knew it. Yeah. Kayla is done. Tony is done. Responses. Okay. All right. Let's see if you feel discriminated against on the account of being colorblind. Well, hopefully the education system has not failed you, James. That someone was able to tell you what the color was. I don't blame you though. But hopefully somebody told you what the color of Neptune was. I'm gonna trust just the education system there. Oh, you know, hold on. I just realized in the settings that there's a make a quiz function. I'm sorry. I'm going to activate this again. Do you guys mind redoing it? I'm sorry. I did not realize that was even an option. So let's see. All right. So it's a quiz now, I think. See, okay. Emily's done. Okay. Because I don't think it was going to tell me who said what answer anyway. It just gave me like pie charts for. Well, I do see all your answers for the last one. I see 5 answers there. Oh, nuts. And yeah, it didn't ask you for like your name or anything, right? All right, let me see if I click this, what comes up. Okay, so ask you for your email, and then okay, can you guys try it again? I'm so sorry. I'm learning here. I'm learning. Give you guys a couple more minutes to go back in there. Hopefully it's not too long to redo it. This form is collecting emails. Yeah, okay, that's what we want. Oh, okay, I see scores. Same link? Yeah, I think so. Sorry, I've been kind of quiet here, but yeah. I hope this works. Maybe I'll get an email saying so-and-so has filled out the form or completed the quiz. Let's see. Speaking of stuff on the channel, I did release a video a couple weeks ago about the time lapses that I shot, and it wasn't necessarily about how I did it, but more how I made the time lapse. And it's an intricate tutorial for anybody who's interested in astrophotography, on how to do it using Lightroom and Adobe Premiere. So it was linked to our emails. Okay. Yeah. Same link. I think so. Yep. Same link. Okay. I see 3 scores coming in, and I don't think it'll tell you if you're right or wrong until I go in and grade them. Oh, there's another one. I see Emily. I can add feedback. Okay. All right, so I've got Kayla, I've got your answers here. So I'm going to start grading everybody. Students, you're going to school. Welcome to space school. All right, so let's see how many you got right, Kayla. Okay, Kayla, I've graded yours. Tony and Emily done. Okay, great. Yeah. And I'm gonna go back. Let's go to. Great, here we go. All right, Sinedra, you're up next. All right. A lot of you guys, you so far, there's some consistent answers you guys are getting. Okay, Sinedra, got yours. I think I made these pretty challenging, it seems. James, you're up next. Okay. Thank you guys for participating in this. This is super fun. For me, at least. Let me push up my glasses real quick. Lord of the Rings. There we go. There's a point. You had a funny last answer, James. I like that. All right. Who's next on the list? Emily. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Okay. Okay. Yep. Yep. Interesting. 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 Okay. 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 Tony, your last one. All right, here we go. um 69,420. That's a great answer. If there was a most creative answer point, you'd get that. That's for sure. All right, we're done grading. This is not gonna look good. Okay, on pure points without, this is like out of the 9 questions. Emily, you got 3 correct. Tony, you got 4 correct. James, you got 2 correct. Sinedra, you got 4 correct. And Kayla, you got 5. And I think Kayla got 5 because she, lives with me and hears about my nerdy stuff all the time. I might, Kayla, you can get as many photos as you want. I'm married to you. It's the default. So I might have to default to somebody else as the winner. That's like total nepotism, right? So Sinedra, you had 4 correct, and Tony, you had 4. And then the 10th question is kind of like the closest to the pin. Yeah, you demand a recount. Yeah, Greg. Wait, Greg is there. What's up, Greg? Hey, should we get Greg in here? Should we give him a chance? Greg, do you want to participate in this quiz? Did you do it? Oh, I see it. I see your answer. Hold on. Yeah. Okay. We've got Greg. Greg's in here. This is 6th person. Let's see how Greg does. This might be the upset. Did Greg come in and steal it? Did he steal it for the win? Okay. Let's find out. Oh man. Oh man. All right, I got Greg. I got your score. Greg, you got 4 correct. 4 out of the 9 correct. So Snedra, Tony, and Greg all tied with 4 out of 9 correct of the quiz, and now the winner is going to be the closest to the pin. Who? You did it in record time, and you didn't study anything. Hey, that doesn't matter. That's okay. You submitted it. It's complete. The closest answer on that last question is how many times has Nick seen the ISS with his eyes? Tony says, I definitely incorrectly answered the planet question because I refused to accept Pluto wasn't a planet. When I saw your answer, I knew you were going to say that. I 100% knew it. I was like, I'm like, Tony is answering this for a very specific reason. I just could feel that. I felt that vibe. Yeah, well, way to go, Greg. You know more than you allow yourself to believe. Trust your knowledge. You've got it in there. Okay, so how should we do this? Let's go over the answers to the quiz, and then I'll do the closest of the pin. All right, so anybody else who's joining in just now, I am ending the quiz right now. No more submissions. That's 6 people we got. All right, how far away is the sun from the Earth? The correct answer, 93 million miles. 93. How long has the International Space Station been in orbit around the Earth? This is question number 2. The correct answer is 23 years. The first module was launched in November of 1998. So do the math. 22 years was just this past November. Is that the math right? Yeah, right? At 1998 would have been 2018, 2019, 2020, 23 years. Yeah. So then 24 years is this November. Is that right? So 23 years was the correct answer. How many true planets are there? And this is the trick question. It's not a trick question, but it's a tricky question. Oh, wait, Josh, you just showed up. I'm sorry, man. I'm going over the answers to this quiz that we just did. But you can tune in here. What color is how many true planets? So I put true in there because the question of Pluto, is Pluto a planet? Currently, a planet and a dwarf planet are two different things. Pluto has been demoted to a dwarf planet. Demoted. So the correct answer would be 8. Josh, you did not miss the Funko because I have not done it yet. So thank you for reminding me to do that. I'll do that on the way out here. So 8 is the correct answer. 9, Tony, would have been correct if you're a Pluto advocate like myself, but true planets. Okay, what color is the planet Neptune? This is question number 4. The correct answer, and the most popular answer you guys put was aqua, but we're talking about Neptune, and blue is the correct answer. I think one person put blue. I think everyone else put aqua. Uranus is aqua, technically. So close. It's the next door neighbor. And James, I might give you a pass on that one then for being colorblind. What is moon dust called? I was really proud of this one. The correct answer is regolith. And I think, Kayla, you were the only one to get that correct. Lunar rack and smooth silt. I made those up like there was no tomorrow. Those are made up because I was like, I didn't even know what to call it. But they sound cool and volcanic. And there's a little bit of Minecraft influence in there. So regolith was correct. Next question. What is the closest galaxy to us? The correct answer is the Andromeda Galaxy. You can see it with your naked eye on a very clear night, and certainly through a telescope you can see it. It's like, boom, right there. It's really cool. Pinwheel Galaxy and Sombrero Galaxy are real galaxies. You can see them, and but they're very, very, very far away. Oh, because of Cinder, the book that you knew? That's pretty cool. All right, which famous astronomer called Earth the pale blue dot? All right. The correct answer is Carl Sagan. He's the only one of these 3 who were from modern times. Nicholas Copernicus and Galileo Galilei were from like the 1700s, and Carl Sagan was from the 20th century. And at a time when we were able to see Earth from off the Earth and see it in a picture, a famous picture from a way far out, I think through, however many hundreds or tens of millions of miles away, hundreds of millions of miles away, you can see the Earth as this little dot, and he has this wonderful speech that's famous, and he calls Earth as just this pale blue dot, and we are very small. It's a very, very cool thing. So Carl Sagan, correct answer. You only knew that because of Mass Effect. Oh, nice. Yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda, totally. Okay, which is not a type of telescope? This is a technical question. The correct answer, micro lens telescope, is not a type of telescope. That does not exist. Refractor and reflector are the two main denominations of telescopes. One uses mirrors, the other one uses lenses. Just kind of made one up here. Last question, question 9. How many moons does Jupiter have? And this is always kind of an evolving answer because they keep discovering more. And they're like as big as, you know, huge, like moons, like almost the size of ours, to like little asteroids that are just captured asteroids. They call them moons. Excuse me. The correct answer, and I think only one person got this right, is 79. Greg, I think you got this one. 79. There's a lot of them. The most popular answer was 56. You guys picked 56 a lot. You guys felt like the middle was the safest, but indeed it was the highest number. Things that don't exist include space. All right. So let's go back to it. The final score. We have Sinedra, Tony, Greg. Are you guys all still here hanging out, paying attention? Tied with 4 points. And Sinedra, your guess for the last question, question 10. How many times has Nick seen the ISS with his eyes? Well, let me go through all of them. I'll go through all of them. So, Kayla, you guessed 112. Sinedra guessed 3 question mark. James, you said, what did you write? Every time, because how else would you see it? Is that right? Yeah. Or what else would you see it with other than your eyes? Yeah, that's a good. You definitely read the question, but you didn't give me a number, so I can't give you a bonus point here. Tony said 69,420, which is the trolliest troll answer that ever trolled. And Emily said 87. That's a solid guess. And Greg said 111,111. So I don't know if that was hexadecimal or binary, or you're actually saying 111,111. So I don't know which of the 3 you're referring to. Can you tell me, Greg? Because that might actually dictate how you answer here. Let me know. Let's see. Again, Kayla kind of had the advantage on this, so again, I'm not going to count it because she knows how many times I go out the door to look at the space station. Are you guys on the edge of your seats here? Greg, if you do have the moment in the chat, let me know if you were guessing 111,111 or if it was is it hexadecimal? Let's see. Is it I don't even know. It probably doesn't even translate in hexadecimal because there's letters in there. What about binary? What's binary? Oh, it's like a crazy number. I don't even know anymore. I'm going to assume that that's just 111,111. Okay. Closest without going over. Let's see. Out of in binary, it equals 63. Really? Greg, are you there, man? Can you hear me? Are you? You got to clarify. I need the tiebreaker here. So again, Sinedra, you said 3. Tony said 69,420. And Greg, 111,111. That's a tough one. All right, I'll give Greg another minute here. Correct, Kayla. Yes. All right. I'm keeping a tally on my watch here. And then we're going to wrap up this stream after this is over. I'm sweating this one, guys. I'm sweating. As we stand here, you guys still don't know the answer. The correct answer. Okay. I think I'm going to call it time. I'm counting Greg's answer as a literal answer. 111,111. I'm not going to translate it as binary. So it is a closest without going over. I see Tony suggested that. So that's probably the Price is Right model. That's probably the best way to do it. So the correct one, the correct number, so how many times have I seen it? I've seen it 138 times. I keep a chart because I'm a nerd, and 138 sightings of the space station. So Sinedra's answer with 3 is the closest without going over. So Tony, 69,000 times, of course. Although I do appreciate the creativity and Elon Musk reference there. I would reward you with some Dogecoin if I had it. And Greg, 111,000. Few too many as well. So Sinedra, congratulations. You win the prize here. You get to, I'm going to give you 5 free pictures. I'm going to send you. So I will send you something here. I keep getting friend requests from you, Sinedra, on face. I think I confirmed once already. Did it? Maybe it's just notifying me again. So way to go! Congratulations! Party in the chat. Send some party emojis. Sinedra is the winner. Oh, that was fun. I will come more prepared with a quiz next time. I would love it once the channel gets bigger. You can have more people on here. We can do a more interactive way of doing it. This is the best day of my life. Hey, nice. Making dreams come true here on the Orbital Alliance YouTube channel. Sweet. So maybe we can I'll send you my portfolio. I think James has it. I could also send it to you too here, and then you go on there, you pick any pictures that you want, any 5 pictures, and I will send you the higher quality versions, and you can use them how you wish, except for selling them. Woohoo! Sweet deal, everybody. And Josh, are you still there, Josh? You reminded me to do the Funko of the month, which I'm going to do because actually Josh just sent me this in the mail today. You guys up on any Marvel stuff? Because Josh just sent me this one in the mail. This is Infinity Ultron from the What If show on Disney+. This is a pretty cool looking Funko. Look at that. As you guys, if you've seen the stream before, you know I do a featured Funko Pop of the week because I got a whole bunch right next to me. Got a bunch on my desk. I've gotten a few new ones. So this is the featured Funko of the week. Thank you, Josh, for sending me this. Look at that thing. It's pretty neat. He's been sitting right over here on my Focusrite. So very good stuff. Sweet. All right, you guys, it's late. I'm going to call it a night. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for playing the very first game and kind of the first real contest here on the stream. This was super fun. I had a good time. I hope you guys did too. Again, next month, July 29th, put it on your calendars. That's the next live stream we'll be doing. No, 27th. 27th. Today's the 29th. I was confusing. July 27th, Wednesday night, 8 p.m. We'll be right back here doing a live stream. So cool. I'll see you all next time. Have a great month. And I do have the big 2-hour interview with Sabi from the Space Station guys coming out very soon. I'm still editing that, and it's going to be a big video on the channel. So if you want to learn about one of the best astrophotographers in the world, best space station photographers. Check it out. It's going to be coming soon. And yeah, it's going to be good. So time to sign off. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you all on the other side. End stream.